Now, I would like to introduce two people, two Pershings, if they could come up together, but before they do, I'll tell you who they are. First is Pershing Society alumna Sarah Burkemper, who graduated in 1992 with a BA in Economics and a BS in Business Administration, in addition to a Master's of Accountancy degree. At that time, she was also named the Outstanding Graduate Accounting Student. Sarah went on to complete an MA degree from Washington University in St. Louis. Sarah is a certified public accountant and currently serves as Secretary of the Truman State University Board of Governors and President of the Truman State University Foundation. And then also Pamela Popp will be joining us up here. She's originally from the St. Louis area. Pamela resides now in Denver and is the Executive Vice President of Western Litigation Incorporated. In addition to being a member of Pershing Society while enrolled at Truman, Pamela worked in the admissions office and was active with the Student Activities Board and Delta Sigma Pi. She received a BS in Business Administration from Truman, a master's degree from Webster University, and a Juris Doctorate from St. Louis University School of Law. Pamela currently serves as the Colorado Alumni Association representative to the Truman State University Alumni Board and has been a leader in the Thanks a Million Dr. McLean initiative. So to discuss a little bit about the capital campaign that we are in the quiet phase of right now, and also the Thanks a Million Dr. McLean campaign, I would like to have Sarah and Pam please join me up here. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. And when I was asked to provide these remarks, I found out something very exciting for me, and that is that almost 30 years ago, our first gift was made to the Pershing Fund, and that was made by none other than my big sister. And she is in the audience somewhere, and I would like her to stand. Martha, where are you? Oh, there she is. Oh, yes? We're not making up. So my big, oh, yes. Oh, thank you. Well, I will say that in 1985, it was unusual and atypical for someone to make a donation to an institution that was heavily supported by our state. I'll also say that I feel fortunate not only to have received the Pershing Scholarship, but also to have attended the university at a time when I think the feeling outside with the taxpayers was that it was a valid expenditure of cash to help these young students get a four-year higher education. And I'm not sure that we quite have that same sentiment today. And that's why I think it's important, for me especially, to do things to help young students, like I was back in 1987, to get that college education without being heavily saddled by debt or having to work a lot of outside jobs, because I would say the way the numbers work these days, it's not possible to work your way through college. And so back in 1985, when Martha made her gift, as I said, that was very atypical. People didn't make donations to state-sponsored institutions. But today, not only is it typical, but it is vital. And as we look and we balance our budget every year, as the president knows, here, we couldn't do it without the gifts that we receive from our foundation. Our foundation is a very vital part of this university and has a group of very dedicated volunteers that go out and share the great message of Truman and raise funds in order to help our students be able to afford the college experience. And so right now, as we embark on our new capital campaign, one very important part of that is this Thanks a Million Dr. McLean initiative, which seeks to raise funds enough to endow a scholarship for a Pershing student. And I think you're going to address that more, so I won't give away that secret. But it has been a joy for me in appreciation for this great scholarship to be a part of serving this university over the past decade and hoping to create the experiences for young, deserving students out in this state and other states who can come here and have a transformative experience because of the work of those since Dr. McLean started that years ago. So thank you, and thank you for being here.
I'm Pamela Popp. It's been said that the right words from the right person at the right time can change a life. That is what the Pershing Scholarship did for me. It pulled me out of a situation that wasn't a good one. It gave me an opportunity to be exposed to adults who were positive and encouraging and who believed in me. And you don't get those opportunities very often. So with that, thank you, Dr. McLean, but certainly thank you to the university as well for the opportunity to be part of the Pershing group. As a Pershing and as an alum, I have two challenges for this group today. And I assure you that I have forced myself to accomplish them first so that I could then honestly ask you to do so. The first one is very easy. There was a form out on the table when you came in that asked you for updated information. Now, this might seem like something that's really simple and basic, and oh my gosh, that's not important, but you know what? It is important. Because we now have 40 years, 400 Pershings or more, who now have stories to tell, who we can start tracking what the results were. We know that this scholarship, that this school, that this opportunity changed our lives. We know that. We all know that. But we need to give the university the opportunity to actually take credit for that. And that means that we need to start a database that has information about who we are, what we've done, and then allow us to give the opportunity to give back. And the ways to give back can be money, but they can also be time, effort, teaching, mentoring, helping encourage someone that comes across your path, whether they're a student here or perhaps a potential student here in the future. So that brings me to the second point. The second point is I would like to challenge particularly all of the Pershings to be one and fund one. I would like to ask that if you've had that opportunity, that in some way, whether it's through time, talents, gifts, estate planning, whatever in the world it is, that you get the opportunity to give back. For each of our Pershing scholars, it costs $373,000 to fund that program for one student. And so when you're thinking about it, I would like you to think about what you may be able to do, particularly with some estate planning. It doesn't have to be front dollars, but be able to contribute, to fund, so that in the next year, we can have at least one of our Pershing scholars who's almost completely funded by that opportunity. And in the future, perhaps by starting it and going forward, we can eventually get to the point where we actually have all of our Pershing scholars supported by prior scholars. And how great would that be? So that's my request for all of you today. Words are not enough to say thank you. Absolutely not enough. So we all have to figure out other ways that we can do what we need to give back. And at different points in our lives, it's easier to do so than others, but I would ask that you all start thinking about it. And in the next couple of weeks, maybe a month, you'll get a phone call or an email from someone from the advancement office, and I would ask that you take that phone call or that you answer that email and you really think about it, and you do what you can do so that we can have these kids going forward understand that not only is this a tremendous opportunity for them to come and to be here and to be believed in, but that they have an entire group of alumni who have lived this experience and can tell them what it's about. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah and Pamela. So as Pamela was mentioning, the idea is to have one scholarship funded through our endowment. And we would like to introduce a concept where that one scholar, Pershing scholar, who is going to be funded through that endowment will be called the McLean Scholar. So that is and what's exciting is that this really just started this past summer, and already in gifts, pledges, and planned gifts, we have raised over $544,000 in honor. So we're well on our way, and I know that there are several individuals in this room who've been a part of that effort, so thank you very much.